Good morning. If you're watching this, is Unit 9, Russia and Central Asia for World Geography. A couple housekeeping things before we get started. If you haven't completed your Unit 8 test, that's due at midnight tonight, so please get that done so you're not counted late on that. Make sure you're doing your stuff on time. I don't want to be counting points off for you being late, but I will if I have to, so please make sure you're getting your stuff in on time. Tomorrow's election day. There is no school. You don't have to check in through the attendance thing because school is closed for tomorrow. Start checking back in on Wednesday. Make sure you're doing the November attendance as well, please. I think that's all the housekeeping stuff. So let's go ahead and knock out Russia and Central Asia. Starting with the major regions and cities. Asia is the largest continent, covering a third of the world's land area. Russia and Central Asia occupy the flat plains that stretch across the western and central areas, while the southern and eastern areas are mountainous, which we will talk about in a couple weeks. We'll get to Southeast and South Asia. The major countries in this region are, and I'm going to try my best not to butcher these pronunciations today: Russia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Armenia. Don't know why Armenia is not up there, but it's supposed to be. So, Armenia is one of them as well. The important countries here, like we talked about last week, countries' importance as far as on the global scale reflects the GDP, the land size, or the population. When we're talking about GDP, these are 2020 estimates. Russia has 4.5 trillion total with almost 31,000 per capita. Kazakhstan is 179 billion with just under 10,000 per capita. Uzbekistan is 59,771 with just under 10,000 per capita. Turkmenistan's a 2018 estimate at 42.7 billion with 7,411 per capita. That Uzbekistan, that's supposed to be 59.771 billion. Mistyped it. That's my fault. Land size. Russia is the largest country on the planet at 601,670 square miles. Kazakhstan is just over 1 million square miles. Turkmenistan is 189,000 square miles. Population in 2020 estimates. Russia is 144 million. Uzbekistan is 33 million. Kazakhstan is 18 million. Okay. Major cities, starting off with you got Moscow, which is the capital of Russia, located west of the Ural Mountains. This is the beginning of the Trans-Siberian Railroad. It is the most populous city in European Russia. It's the largest city entirely in Europe. It's the northernmost and coldest megacity on Earth. Remember, a megacity is a city with over 10 million people. It's the most populated inland city in the world. It's located on the Moskva River. There we go. St. Petersburg was once the capital of Russia. It was named for and founded by Peter I, also known as Peter the Great. He was a former czar. It's located along the Gulf of Finland, which provides access to the Baltic Sea and gave Russia a window to the west. It's home to the Hermitage, which is one of the largest art museums in the world, and it is the most westernized city in Russia. And this is where my pronunciations are just going to go completely and totally sideways. Novosibirsk became an important city due to its location along the Trans-Siberian Railroad and along the Oba River. The most populous city in Asian Russia at 1.47 million people. But Vladivostok was the end of the line in the east for the Trans-Siberian Railroad and allows goods and people to reach the Pacific from inland Russia. Volgograd was formerly known as Stalingrad. It's famous for its resistance against the German army during World War II. Often regarded as the largest and bloodiest battle in the history of warfare. It's home to the Motherland Calls, which is a statue that commemorates the Battle of Stalingrad and was the largest statue in the world in 1967. Modern day, it's no longer the largest statue. It is, however, still the largest statue of a woman in the world. Physical characteristics. Asia makes up the eastern part of Eurasia. Once again, Eurasia is the continent, the landmass that includes Europe and Asia. It's got varied physical and environmental features, influencing the abundance and use of Asia's natural resources. This area covers a lot of land. It spans 2 continents and 11 time zones. Okay? There's all your square kilometers. I'm not going to read all of them. But this area covers 21,258,993 square kilometers total. In comparison, the U.S. has a land area of just under 10 million square kilometers. So this is double and then some the size of the U.S. You've got varied climate regions. The far north is the tundra. Okay, this lies above the Arctic Circle, which is 66 1/3 degrees north. Sorry, 66 1/2. It's a vast treeless plains with a period of continuous darkness and continuous days. Think of the horror movie 30 Days of Night. Okay, it's an old vampire movie. And I say old, it's like maybe 15, 20 years. Literally, there's like 30 days of night here. You can go almost a month without seeing the sun, then almost a month without seeing the night sky. This is 10% of Russia's land. You got permafrost, which is a permanently frozen ground. And no trees live here. That's not good. Russia's largest climate region is subarctic, which lies south of the tundra. This is where the taiga is. Okay, the taiga is a boreal forest belt that covers 2/3 of Russia, of western Russia, and much of Siberia. The taiga is about the size of the United States and is the world's largest coniferous forest, containing half of the world's softwood timber. Mid-latitude climates are much milder. They have milder winters, warmer summers, still cold. Humid continental, this is most of Russia's North European plain and a very small part of Siberia. It's where Moscow is. Southern Russia, you have temperate grasslands with the Chernozem soil. And then the steppe is the area between the Black and Caspian Seas, north of the Caucasus, there you go, mountains, and a band along Russia's border with Kazakhstan. Here's a map of the climate regions. I am butchering these pronunciations today. I am sorry, guys. It is a Monday. But I'm trying. And I feel like that has to count for something. North European plain is the center of economic life for 1/4 of the people of Russia and Central Asia. Like I said earlier, Chernozem is a rich, fertile soil. It's known for its black color. It's black soil. Makes it very fertile, very one of the best farming areas in Europe. 2 major Russian cities are found on the North European plain. You have Moscow right about here, and then St. Petersburg is right up here. Sorry, right up here. I can't count. Already mentioned, Chernozem, rich in this area, western Russia, west of the Ural Mountains. The Ural Mountains divide Europe from Russia, or Europe from Asia. Whew. I'm just going to take a second, get my life together, stop getting tongue-tied. All right. Ural Mountains divide the European part of Russia from the Asian part of Russia. The Caucasus Mountains lie between the Black and Caspian Seas and divide Russia from Georgia and Azerbaijan. Okay? So here's the Urals. Caucasus come right through here. Siberia is known as the Sleeping Land. It lies east of the Ural Mountains, and I'm sorry there aren't a lot of pictures on this one. I just slacked off. I don't know what happened here, so I apologize. It lies east of the Urals. It's very isolated, sparsely populated. Siberia holds 84% of Russia's water supply, only 25% of their population. You got a very harsh climate that causes a lot of the natural resources to go underutilized. Basically, if you made the Soviet government angry, they sent you to Siberia. Okay? Prison camps. Water features, you got the Volga River, which is the main waterway. It flows into the Caspian Sea. It's the longest river in European Russia. The Oba River flows north into the Arctic Ocean. The Amur River flows east and forms the boundary between Russia and China. Lake Baikal is a lake in southern Siberia. It's the largest freshwater lake in Eurasia. It's the deepest freshwater lake in the world. It's the oldest freshwater lake in the world. It's over 25 million years old. And it's home to 1,500 plants and animals not found anywhere else in the world. So, you can see right here is the Amur River, dividing Russia from China. Right here is Lake Baikal. Let's see. Here's the Oba River flowing north into the Arctic Ocean. Ural Mountains come through here. The Caucasus Mountains come through here. Volga River is right here. Okay, flows down into the Caspian Sea. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't miss any of the other rivers. Caspian Sea is a salt lake between Europe and Asia. It's the largest inland body of water in the world. The Aral Sea is an inland sea between Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. We talked about it last week. We've talked about it before, where it's shrinking due to shrinking due to water diversion. There we go. We're good. Black Sea is one of Russia's warm water seaports. It's the only one. Okay, right here, and that's only because they took. This is known as Ukraine. Ukraine's island right here is. It's not Crete. What is it called? I'm struggling this morning. I'm sorry. Bering Strait separates Russia from Alaska. Alaska's literally like right here. Okay. At its narrowest point, it's only 51 miles wide. That's about the distance between here and about Christiansburg. Okay? It's not that far apart. Pacific Ocean's in the east, Arctic's in the north. Some rivers flow northward. Economic characteristics, you have a transition from the command economies of the Soviet Union to a more free market economy. It's still limited, but it's closer. Okay? Communism fell in the 80s and 90s in this region and shifted over to capitalism. This has been difficult, but recently the economy has shown some growth. Standards of living are improving. Farming and industry concentrated in the Fertile Triangle region, which is between the Caspian Seas, the Baltic Sea, and the Ob River. It contains a rich black earth belt with Chernozem soils, and this is where they grow a whole lot of wheat. Right here, you can see the Fertile Triangle. Infrastructure, you got the Trans-Siberian Railway, okay? Construction began in the late 1800s, completed in 1916. It is 6,000 miles long, connecting Moscow to Vladivostok, and it is the longest continuous railroad line in the world. Energy resources include hydroelectric power, oil, and natural gas. They're exporters of oil, natural gas, and mineral resources. Russia is especially rich in fossil fuels, mainly oil. Okay, Russia's a huge oil producer. And they hold 16% of the world's coal reserves. But the problem here is most of these natural resources are found in Siberia, and they can't get to it because the climate's so harsh. Like I said, climate harsh. You got widespread pollution, including oil spills, air pollution. The big one is radioactive waste, okay? Especially Chernobyl. Chernobyl was 1986. It was a nuclear power plant located in Ukraine, which was controlled by the Soviet Union. One of the reactors melted down, caused the entire plant to fail. They had to evacuate nearby cities and in a huge area, including Pripyat. Okay? These are pictures from Chernobyl today. Okay? People just up and left. You can see there's pictures from inside the school where there's still books and dolls on the desks. The kids left there that morning of. And they're still there 35 years later. Because no one's touched them. We've talked about the Aral Sea and it's shrinking due to the water diversion of the Soviet Union. At this point, it's split. It's no longer just the Aral Sea. It's the North and South Aral Sea. Warsaw Pact was a group of countries led by the Soviet Union. You can see them right here. Were communists formed in 1954. It was the counterpart to NATO formed in 1949. The political and economic difficulties after the breakup of the Soviet Union, this was due to each of these new countries having to develop their own government and economy. Okay, it took some time to get on their feet. And there's tensions today due to what the Soviets did. Mainly, you see these tensions between Russia and the Ukraine. Crimea. That's what it was. This, where is my map? We're going to just rewind for a second. This little area right here that I was trying to remember, it's called Crimea. During the Soviet era, new borders were created with no regard to ethnic lines. Today, many of these places want to restore their borders, but there's still a lot of conflict. A good example of this is Chechnya. Chechnya is a Soviet republic that declared itself independent in 1991, but Russia would not recognize them. This led to two wars, the first Chechen War between 1994 and 1996, and the second Chechen War between 1999 and 2009. In May 2000, Vladimir Putin appointed Ahmad, I'm not even going to attempt that last name, the head of the pro-Russian government in Chechnya. In 2004, he was killed by a bomb. There's still tensions high today. And one of the big reasons there's issues in Chechnya is because the resource control. Cultural characteristics. You have diverse ethnic groups. Many are of Turkic or Mongol heritage. In Central Asia, there's more than 50 ethnic groups and nationalities that live just in the Caucasus region. Uzbeks and Kazakhs are Turkic peoples, but the Kazakhs are a minority in their own country. In Russia, there's more than 70 distinct ethnic groups, going from the Slavs to Caucasian to Turkic. I mean, they're all over the place. Cultural heritage, you got ballet. Some very well-known ballets are Russian, such as Swan Lake, Sleeping Beauty, The Nutcracker. Fabergé eggs, you'll recognize those when I put a picture up of them. You have famous composers. Icons, which are religious paintings depicting Jesus, Mary, other saints, angels, things like that. The dolls, these are Russian nesting dolls. You guys will recognize those when I put the picture up. And you have samovars, which are a heated metal container used to heat and boil water. Okay? So these are Fabergé eggs. Okay, they're really fancy designed. They're eggs. They were gifts from the Tsar. There were only 57 of them in existence. Icons, ballet. Y'all recognize nesting dolls?
Mm-hmm. I love those things.
It's just one and another and another and another and another. These are played up in cartoons a lot. Cultural landscape, you've got Russian Orthodox churches. The main one is St. Basil's Cathedral in Moscow. Okay. You got the Red Square, which borders the Kremlin. It's a central market square in Russia. It's considered the central square of Moscow because all major streets originate from the square. Military parades go through it. This is the home to Lenin's mausoleum, the final resting place of Vladimir Lenin, the founder of the Soviet Union. The Kremlin is the location of the Russian government. It's basically the Russian White House. Okay, it's a fortified complex in the heart of Moscow. Then you also have mosques, which are Islamic house of worships with the minarets, which are the towers. Siberian villages are home to those who dare to live in Siberia. Apartments, they had the very Soviet blocky design. Okay? Questions on Russia and Central Asia. See, that wasn't near as long as Europe. You have You only have one map this week. You have the notes, the test review, the vocab, just the map of the countries. There is no physical map this week. Wednesday you'll have a vocab quiz and a map quiz. Test will be Friday. Questions? So you got the rest of class to work on anything you need to work on. Do the test first. Or I guess test review, then test. You guys just work on whatever you need. Okay? If you guys have any questions or anything, leave a comment, shoot me an email, I'll help you out.